good afternoon, or good evening, whenever this hits your ears, and welcome to BC Weekly, where we talk about all the topics that matter to you and us.
Live sports and video games.
Remember, you can pick up BC Weekly wherever you find your podcasts, whether it be iTunes, SoundCloud, or YouTube. You can find us. And as always, I'm one of your hosts, Chuck.
I'm the other host, Brandon.
And Brandon, how was your day today, sir?
My day has been fantastic. As you know, we're on summer, and I haven't done anything. Like, I wake up with zero stress, zero pressure, because I'm like, I don't have to work today. I don't have to go to school today. I can just relax, and it feels relieving just to wake up like that. So, sat down, played video games, and talked to people all day.
There's nothing like summertime, and me personally, I always think about what summertime was like when you were a kid, when you literally had zero responsibilities, when it's like classes are out. So I'm gonna just be in my drawers all day, running around trying to swing on a swing set because I don't got nothing else to do. And yeah, it's nothing like summertime as a kid.
Nope. And they always seem longer too.
Oh yes. Yes.
Oh yeah. Summers go now so fast, and it's funny too because we have longer summers, especially being in college. Like we have longer summers. Yeah, I mean, think about it.
Well, no, because we got out in and we got out in June. We got out in June, and we went back in September.
Now we got out in late April or early May, and don't go back until
August.
Late August, sometimes September, depending.
August.
Sometimes September.
We've never started in September. We've always started in August. Yeah.
Other schools start in September.
So we get about the same amount of time, but
I guess
it seems shorter because I think we relish the time. When we were younger, even the work we were doing, or the quote-unquote work we were doing as children, wasn't that taxing. And so maybe it's the stark dichotomy of what it's like to actually be in work mode versus summertime, where we really do just get to let it hang out. And even if we are working jobs or whatever in the summer, it's still less taxing than having school. So,
true. There was some science reasoning behind it. They say that since younger, you only experience so many years. So, when you're first born, that's your first time experiencing a full year. You never experienced it, so you have no reference point. But as you get older, since you've experienced these years, they seem to go faster. I don't know. Time relatively
makes sense. Or you just might be right and I might be wrong, and maybe we did have a longer summer. I don't know.
Who knows? Could be a lot of factors.
So let's dive into our first topic. I wanted to speak about something a little unconventional today because what was it? What was I watching? I was watching a commercial, and in this commercial, I think it was a hot dog commercial. I think it was Oscar Mayer, and they were talking about we have no preservatives in our hot dogs anymore, no nitrates, no this, no that. And I'm like, all right, whatever. And in this commercial, they took the time to show the mustard being like drizzled all over the hot dog, and I hate mustard. And so what I want to know is, what is your least favorite food? Now, it doesn't have to be food, because obviously mustard's a condiment. Most people wouldn't think of mustard as a meal, but that's the least favorite thing I hate going in my mouth. And I have a myriad of reasons of why. Now, I have a long list. There's actually 3 foods that I call the I call the trifecta of disgustingness. And I won't get into those now, but we'll stick with mustard. So there's a few reasons why I hate mustard. One, it tastes like shit. Like, just disgusting. It tastes terrible. 2, the color. It's like a off, dingy, golden pea brown. Like, it's very nasty. It just, like, it looks nasty. It kind of looks like pus. It kind of looks like pus out of a bottle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never related it to that.
Oh, I have.
Now
because it smells like it too. It has such a nasty stench. Have you ever smelled mustard up close?
Yes.
It smells disgusting, right?
It's not the most appealing
thing. It smells disgusting. It smells disgusting. And this is the kicker. Now, let me tell you, this is the kicker. The fact that mustard, it gets crusty. It gets so, like, have you ever seen a mustard bottle, like, on the top? And if you, it gets crusty and flaky.
But so does, like,
nasty.
ketchup. Well, yeah. A lot of things get crusty, I think.
All I'm saying is mustard gets crusty. I don't like condiments in general. I don't like really barbecue sauce and ranch and
that's all I was going to say. So does ketchup. And then I thought, I'm like, well, you also don't like ketchup.
Yeah, so
my argument's invalid at this point because you just don't like either.
There's so... And this is another thing about mustard. Like, it's just so unnecessary. Mustard is never, like... Okay, barbecue sauce. It has its whole thing. Like, there's literally barbecue where we can put it on multiple different things, and we'll literally soak things in barbecue and then call it a meal. Let's have some barbecue. ranch is so versatile. You can dip mozzarella sticks or dip pizza in it. You can put it on a salad. Ranch is one of the most versatile of all condiments, in my opinion.
I mean,
but mustard. It comes to mustard. I feel like it's a marriage with a hot dog, so it's married with a mystery meat tube. It's really made to be a compliment with ketchup. And for some reason, people want to dip pretzels in them. I just have no respect for mustard. The people who created it, people
I thought
who
it
enjoy
was cheese people dip pretzels in.
Some people dip them in mustard. I know, disgusting, right? Monsters.
Okay.
Monsters. And I agree, yes. Cheese is the only thing pretzels should be dipped in, and sometimes cream cheese, you should try it. But mustard, disgusting.
Alright, well, if I'm going to think about, like, my least favorite food, I'd have to say,
Do you agree mustard's disgusting?
Okay, on that topic, mustard is, I don't like it in a large amount. Like, I will eat a little bit of it. But, like, I'm talking about, okay, so if I had a hot dog, just to give you an example, like, I'll put a line of ketchup.
Who are you?
A line of ketchup and, like, three drops of mustard. Like, not even, like, a lot. I'm talking literally just drops on the two ends and in the middle. That's it. That's all the mustard I want. That's all the mustard I need.
I've cut off relationships with females over mustard.
My God.
I can't kiss someone who's just been who's like just eating mustard. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And you're just cool with it, huh? Just cool with it. You stay with somebody if they ate mustard regularly.
Okay, well, who eats mustard regularly? Like, what do you consider regularly?
Like if you get a sandwich, do you put mustard on it? If you get a hot dog, do you put mustard on it?
Like I already told you about my hot dog sandwich. I don't even eat. I eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Like, that's the only sandwich I eat.
If you went to Subway and you got a sandwich, would you put mustard on it?
No, because I have meatballs. I go to
okay. You didn't get meatballs. Let's say you made a bologna sandwich. Would you put mustard on it?
No.
What type of salami sandwich?
No.
What type of sandwich would you put mustard on?
Literally just hot dogs and burgers. That's about it.
So you will put mustard on a burger when you could put barbecue sauce?
Okay, I don't like barbecue sauce that much. I only like barbecue.
You don't like barbecue sauce? Okay.
No, I only like barbecue sauce and chicken.
You know
and ribs.
This has been a very illuminating conversation. Illuminating. I don't even know who you are. I hate mustard.
Apparently, barbecue sauce is good. It can be too much, in my opinion. It can just be too much. So I stick with it on some chicken, particularly boneless wings, and some forms of ribs. But it also depends. Like, if my grandma or grandpa, they cook ribs, I don't eat anything. Like, they put so much seasoning and stuff on it, like, I'm just eat it plain.
I do like my ribs plain if cooked well. Mm-hmm. I'm not disagreeing with that.
For sure.
And I don't think barbecue sauce is like the perfect condiment. I just know that mustard is the devil's spit.
Fair enough. No, I don't hate mustard as much as you. I don't think many people do, but I don't love it either. I'm not putting it on
your top 10 list.
No, it's literally just going on hot dogs and hamburgers, and I'm talking about. I told you, drops, just drops. That's it. That's all I need. Anyway, what I dislike, my least favorite food, honestly, black eyed peas.
That's so random.
It's my grandma loves black eyed peas, and she would cook them almost all the time, and she'd always try to have me eat them, and I would never eat them because they just taste so nasty. Like, it's like it gets mushy and it's just in your mouth, and like I never want to swallow it, so like it was just staying in my mouth all mushy, and I was like, ugh. It got progressively worse, honestly, and so I hate them. I can't. Like, I look at them and I sort of gag. Like, even thinking about it right now, I'm like slightly gagging in my mouth. Just because it's
some deep-seated memories down there of black eyed peas.
Honestly.
So, I think this is a great transition. How do you feel about their music now that the food has haunted you so? Do you like Fergie? Does will.i.am make you cringe?
No, I do not like Fergie, especially after that, what was it, 2012, 2013 halftime show? I don't know. What year was they did a Super Bowl halftime show.
Was it bad or something?
It was terrible.
It was terrible?
It was absolutely terrible.
And you're like, terrible. I knew black eyed peas were terrible.
I mean, Fergie was terrible. I just never really liked will.i.am, but the only good parts about the halftime show was Usher came in for a hot second. He was dope, and then Slasher.
Oh, the dude with the hat.
Yeah.
The guitar.
Yeah, he came in and he made it also good. But like the main show, Black Eyed Peas,
garbage.
terrible.
It's probably because they were all mushy.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Fergie wasn't even like actually singing. I think she was just lip singing. It was bad lip singing. Like, you know,
like Mariah Carey bad.
I was about to say. I was about to say it.
Hey, and you great, Mariah Carey. We like you. Come on the show. You know, we appreciate you, but you know, you lip sync. We can't act like you didn't.
Oh man, yeah, that was a show at New Year's. But
so, what do you got next for us?
Right, starting off strong here. Not as intense as hating something, but it is something along the lines of that. My question for you is, what is the most difficult sport you have ever played or tried to learn? Because for me, in this case, just give you some time to think, lacrosse. I suck at lacrosse. Like, I have tried for many months, and I can't. The stick and the ball, the catching it, the twirling it I just can't do it. And I remember this yesterday because Brett wanted to play while we were just messing around. Brett had a lacrosse stick because I don't know why he bought one, but he did.
Right.
And so we were throwing it back and forth and just trying to get used to catching it, and Brett gave me the stick, and he was like, you can catch it. I tried. I missed it like at least 3 or 4 times before I started catching it. And I wasn't even doing what I was supposed to, because you're supposed to catch it and then spin depending how quick it's going. Or it's not my sport. And then trying to throw it to people and so they can catch it accurately. The whole catapult system doesn't work for me. Yeah, because that's what it is. You're just stopping right there, and it's flying, and you just have to kind of aim it. I can't do that. I'm just terrible at the sport. I shouldn't play that sport.
All right, fair enough. I personally have never played lacrosse. I think I actually held a lacrosse stick one time when Brett was like, "Here, you should play," and I held it and was like, "Yeah, here." I didn't try. But I definitely see how those mechanics can be very foreign, especially I'm a ball sport type of person. I'm used to. I need to know how to control my body in regards to this ball. And so to bring in another element like a lacrosse stick to learn how to control my body, to control the stick, to control the ball, I definitely see how that could be difficult. And that actually. Kind of when I'm thinking about the sports that's most difficult for me, although I've never played hockey for real, I think it would be extremely hard because of 2 elements. One, skating. I can't. I'm not a good skater. I'm not gonna fall every 2 seconds, but I'm not a great skater. But then I have to focus on skating, and then the stick, and then the puck. So I'm using my skates to get me in a good position with my stick to control the puck. So I'm very much I'm good at control. I have good body control, but with that you need other skills, and I wasn't, I want to say fortunate enough, but I never was in a position to develop good skating skills, to develop good hockey stick skills, to develop good puck skills. So kind of like lacrosse, where you're not the whole mechanic of the flinging and stuff like that with the stick. I'm not good with the hockey thing. I
feel you. Yeah, when you said that hockey, about those mechanics, I actually thought of another thing that I can't do, and that's surfing. I tried it once, literally once, just because I'm like, surfing looks so cool. Watched a lot of Rocket Power when I was little, so it was so they made it seem easy, right? It really, really did. So I tried it, and it's not okay. One, I'm not the best swimmer. I float. That's all I can do. To pushing yourself on the board, that's hard enough. I didn't think it was that hard. No.
So do you mean when your body's half in the water and pushing yourself?
No, on the board? So when you're how you're on the board, and because you're swimming it or up a wave or whatnot, and when you're going with the wave, you have to push yourself up to stand on it so you can actually surf and whatnot. No, it's that point when you're pushing to stand. That's difficult.
Is it because you're pushing against the water?
Yeah, and it's just, and you're moving, and I couldn't. My center of balance was just off, and I kept falling in the water. I spent hours trying to just do that, and I was like, I give up. I can't do it. I would love to be able to surf.
Did you and your family, were they able to do it?
No, I was. This was during my study abroad in Europe.
Did anybody in your group, were they able to do it?
One person did, maybe 2, but it took forever, and we were just.
And the waves were big enough for you all to like. They were like big waves, so y'all could.
No, they're pretty decent waves. I mean, they're obviously not like cartoon
tidal
waves,
right? It's like,
no, but they're pretty decent waves.
So this decent wave is like a 4-foot wave. Is it
like 8 foot? 8 to 10.
So like when you were trying to do that and when you couldn't pull yourself up, the wave would come over you and destroy you.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And again, and let me tell you, like having that going underwater, getting up, and then getting onto your surfboard for even for minutes, it's tiring because you're getting wiped out. Water just drains you for some reason, and just doing that process over and over again, it's terrible. It
doesn't sound fun.
Nope.
I'm not a huge fan of swimming, surfing, saltwater, all that stuff anyway, so I'll take your word for it. So when you were surfing like with your group, were you all out there like in pairs trying to do it, or is it just like go out there, try to do it?
No, it was a big group. It was like a training session. There was this whole like 4 or 5 hour thing where we learned how to do it on land, and then we actually tried to apply it on the water.
And then the water is where everything went awry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. In textbook it seems simple. No.
In Rocket Power, it seemed really simple.
These kids were doing it like it was nothing. I was like, okay, I got this. No.
All right, so it's interesting because I think Rocket Power really established a world in which sports and stuff like that was really easy to do. I remember them going down like the pipes and stuff on their skateboards and just flying a 50. Hey, let me do 4 backflips. This episode's about I'm gonna learn how to do 5 backflips. Right? Like it's just like they made it seem that simple. And I remember as a kid being immersed in that world and although I know I couldn't do it, but I knew they would be able to do it.
Yeah.
And that kind of segues to our next topic of video games, thinking about the worlds that have been most immersive. And what worlds do you think, what video game series, what video game, I guess, I don't want to say genre, but maybe series or title itself has the best world, the most immersive world, the world you just wanted to get lost in, that when you played you didn't want it to end, that there was endless things to do, or maybe there wasn't endless things to do, but there was enough things to keep you interested and coming back for more. And whether it was a one-off game like Kingdoms of Amalur, or maybe it was a game or a game with multiple iterations like The Witcher 1, 2, and 3, and they all have different areas, different worlds, but it's one overall world. You know what I mean?
If I were to think of, one thing that I would love to be a part of, like if I were to be able to like get some wish to just go into a video game world and just be a part of that, I'd have to say Pokemon. Just because,
I didn't expect that answer. I did not.
It's just, I just, growing up and playing those games and like kind of going around as, you're a 10-year-old kid, supposedly, but you're going around this entire
10-year-old and your mom's like, deuces! Have fun being a Pokemon master with these animals or whatever, go ahead.
But you're going around this world and you have these companions and you just, you're going to new places and all these things, but like, it's literally a world. Like every game that comes out, you're in a new continent, so to speak. Just being able to just kind of see the world itself and being unfold, like you can just do so much in it. So like as an entire series, I think it's just an amazing world. And like I've played Pokemon probably more than any game other else, just because as a series, all the hours that you put in. So that's the most time I spent in a world, and I just think it's absolutely amazing. Not to mention Pokemon are amazing, and to be a Pokemon master would be so much fun.
and speaking about Pokemon, what's so interesting is they kind of allow you to think, well, I guess you do in the games. You can be 10-year-old, but be the best Pokemon master ever. Because when you go through Elite Four, you're fighting adults. Like, these are grown adults. Do you know how pissed I would be if I was like a 44-year-old man? I put my whole life into training Pokemon. I was a gym leader. Now I'm in Elite Four. I'm at the pinnacle of my career. And a 10-year-old boy comes along and just destroys me and all my colleagues.
Yeah.
This is literally what I do. My pension is wrapped up in this. This is my whole life goal. And this kid comes along and destroys me. That's wild. That is wild to think of that actually was a world you could step into.
And then it's also especially when they introduced Gen 3, where it wasn't always, you didn't have to battle. you could do other things. Like you could do these beauty contests or these cool contests or you know, or whatever. And you had these mini games later that you could, you know, enter your Pokemon in.
Flesh out the world some more.
Exactly. So it's just, I remember in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, they had that whole carnival area where you could literally do these mini games. Like it was like breaking bricks or like running something. And like each Pokemon had different abilities and stats. And I always thought it was funny because, like, I remember specifically there was a race where you like tap the Pokemon for like a race. And I'm like, okay, Suicune, really fast Pokemon, right? He should be fine with this. No, his stats were terrible. I'm like, wait, what? That doesn't make any sense. But just that's just giving an example of, like, they've expanded that world so much where you can do so many things. And it's not always just about battling, you know, collecting Pokemon, getting to the Elite Four, and being the champion. Like, you can just do so much more. And I think that's great for a gaming world where you don't have to just do one thing. I mean, I know RPGs and MMOs have that a lot, but like I said, Pokemon's something I spent the most time in, and I think it'd be really cool if I could actually be a part of that.
Right. And I think there's few series that have had the opportunity to iterate on themselves and do little improvements or big improvements like Pokemon has. I mean, they've been around since the 90s, so they've had the and they release games new games every 3 years, I think, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And so they've had opportunities, like, so they do the 2 main games and they do the spin-off game, then 2 main games and a spin-off game. So like Red and Blue and Yellow, or Gold and Silver and Crystal, and Ruby and Sapphire and
Emerald.
Thank
I was
you.
like,
I'm like, oh my god, was there not one? So so and they always get to add like they do like the main stuff, and then they do always like a small tweak in that third one, right? And so like Yellow was the biggest deviation from the series, where it was the only game where you can't choose your starter. You have to start with Pikachu. But like I know in Emerald they added in the new sprites, like they made it so sprites moved, and like every time and stuff like that. Was that Crystal?
Crystal.
Then what did Emerald add? Okay, whatever. They always add something, and then whatever that third game has, like that tweak or that cool feature that sets it apart, then the initial 2 of the next series has. Yeah. And so it's cool to see them be able to build upon the world and flesh things out and make it give it more oomph, right? and make the world more immersive. So I've always appreciated Pokemon for that, and I think that's why it has so much resonance today. But switching worlds. I mean, yes, switching worlds. Switching worlds. The world that I think has had the most staying power, effect, coolness that I get the most wrapped up in, the stuff that I want to see, like the world that I want to see fleshed out more. And every time they do, I'm just like, oh man, this is crazy. Is the Elder Scrolls, the universe I thought you
were gonna say Elder Scrolls.
Yes, So there's a few reasons that I really, really, really like the Elder Scrolls. So if you are familiar with the Elder Scrolls is the games of Oblivion, Morrowind, Skyrim. I know you've probably heard of Skyrim. And then before that, they had Daggerfall, they had Arena, they had a game called called Redguard Tales or something like that. I didn't play all those. I've only played Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim. Okay. And then Elder Scrolls Online too, if you played that. But basically, it's always, when I explain Elder Scrolls to people, it's basically a game where they drop you into a world. And when I mean a world, I literally mean a world. Like, imagine being dropped in the middle of the United States in freaking Nebraska. I'll just pick Nebraska. And they're saying the world is yours. Except that instead of obviously being a metropolitan, like a modernized world, it's a world with swords, magics, and everything else is goes. So like there's politics just like people. There's relationships you can build with people. You can make your own posses, your own cliques. You can rise to the top of organizations. You can destroy organizations. And how immersive that world is, the fact that they allow you to be whoever it is you want to be within that world, is what draws me in. Especially in Skyrim, they created, I think it was in Oblivion they created this, where it's called a Radiant Quest system. And basically what it means is the computer actually, like, you can never run out of things to do in this game. So even if you did every single main quest, every storyline, the game comes up with new quests for you organically. So if you're in an Assassin's Guild, let's say, where you're meant to kill people, you might go through the main quest log where you become the top of the Assassin's Guild, or maybe you choose the side branch where you actually destroy the Assassin's Guild, because you can do that in Skyrim. Spoilers, if you haven't played it, it came out in 2011. That's on you. That's not even my fault. But once you get to the top, they'll literally give you new targets, and then the game will literally create people, create scenarios for you to go and assassinate people. Like that in itself is cool. But the reason I don't say Skyrim or I don't say Morrowind or Oblivion is because the Elder Scrolls itself is a world. It is literally a world of one huge continent called Tamriel. And there's different areas. So imagine like North America, and then you have the United States, you have Canada, you have Mexico, you have South America. You have these different areas, and each of the game highlights one area. So Skyrim, the area, like the place it actually is called Skyrim. So that would be Canada, if you will. It's a northern region. Then you have Morrowind, which is like a southern, more volcanic, tropical region. And then you have what's the middle one? Oblivion, which is the temperate region. What would you say? Like trees, forests, all that good stuff. And each of these worlds are so vastly different. They're so unique. They all bring something very specific to the table. Where you're walking through the ash fields of Morrowind, where there's volcanoes erupting in the background and soot falling from the sky, or if you're on the snow-capped peaks of Skyrim, which is completely different, when you see like literally icebergs floating off in the distance, walruses coming up to you. Like the starkness of these areas and the worlds they're able to create, build, and how they get you engrossed in these worlds is second to none. I've never had a game that has been able to enthrall me consistently like Oblivion has, Morrowind has, Skyrim has. It's crazy. Now, have you had any experience in these games?
Literally played Skyrim opening weekend. I remember everyone was talking about it. This is about to be an amazing game. So I was like, all right, I'll give it the hype. Got addicted, literally saw my parents like twice. I was sophomore year, so my mom drove me at 9-10 p.m. to get the game, and I saw my mom again on Sunday. When I came out of my basement, I was like, crap, I gotta stop playing this game. So I ended up giving it to my friend because I'm like, I can't. I've never been addicted to a game that bad, so I haven't played it since, just because I had no self-control.
It is so good. I'll let you borrow my special edition of it. It is so good. I just platinumed the new one they came out with.
Yeah, I saw that.
It is so good. Like it's there's no game that allows you that amount of freedom, choice, exploration, creativity, combination of all those things as Skyrim does, as the Elder Scrolls does, but it's specifically Skyrim, because I think that's the pinnacle of their creation. Elder Scrolls Online, it's really a watered down MMO. So
I know Ben didn't like it because he was playing it 2 summers ago, and he was just like,
it's not the same.
No.
Yeah. My little brother, I didn't actually buy. I didn't buy it. My little brother bought it actually, and so I was playing it with him because just so you can share accounts or whatever.
Okay.
So I was playing it with him, and he was like, "Yeah, it's not as good as Skyrim." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's not as good." They try to do things like they actually let you do first person mode and everything like that, and you can steal stuff, you can pickpocket from characters, you can kill anyone you want. But because it's an MMO, they have to put certain restraints or breaks on certain things, or guards are unkillable.
Yeah.
So if you get caught stealing something, it's done. If you attack a random citizen, a guard's going to kill you no matter what. And even if you're level 1,000,000, you still can't kill a guard because they're unkillable. So it's and they can disable all your skills. Yeah, it's so it's you can do all those things, but you're not going to do those things because you don't want to die.
I got you.
So it's interesting. It's different.
So another reason, just to kind of say why I picked Pokemon, is because in this question, my vision was to actually be put in, like, you know, in a situation where somehow I was actually put into that world. And now I think Pokemon is a world I could survive in. Elder Scrolls, I do not think I'd be able to survive in. Like, I don't think I would be physically capable of surviving. Like, I'd be walking, and if I don't get killed by a dragon just flying around saying lunch, or, you know, a random werewolf, or maybe a thief just thought I had, you know, some good stuff on me.
Step.
Exactly. I don't know what happened. So I think that Pokemon is a way I could survive. And
no one's killing you in Pokemon.
Exactly.
I literally don't know of one person who's ever died in Pokemon. So the chances that you will be the first person to die, pretty low.
Extremely low.
And I think it depends. Are we saying like a player in Skyrim? Because by Skyrim logic, you can. Oh no, I'm about to die. Let me eat like 52 apples while I'll pause it, and then I'll be okay. Oh no, I'm about to die. Let me pause it. Chug 43 potions, and they're just gonna stay there. So I've always appreciated that about Skyrim logic. Because how many times would we have died?
Oh, for sure.
Right. So when you were playing Skyrim, like, what do you remember doing? Like, what was so engrossing? Because obviously you had a good experience, a really good experience.
Yeah, killed a lot of dragons, like a lot of dragons. Couldn't even tell you where I got in the main story. I remember. I want to say I remember a snowy part, but I honestly have no idea where I got in the story. A dragon talked to me. That's also what I remember.
Like, so you got pretty far then. If you were, if you made it to Parthenax, yeah, you had to get pretty far.
Oh, I have no idea. All I was concerned about was killing dragons, getting more shouts, and I found the Thieves Guild, and I got the skeleton key. And then...
Oh, wow. And how long did you say you played?
I literally played, like, the entire weekend. Like, okay, so... Cause my friend,
and you got to the skeleton key. That's really far.
My friend, he spent the night... the first night I got it, and because I started playing this game around 10:30, he passed out, wakes up at like 10 a.m. and I'm still playing.
Oh, yeah.
He was just like, "Did you go to sleep?" I was like, "No, I couldn't. I didn't want to." So yeah, no, it was unhealthy, like literally unhealthy.
And there's nothing wrong with that, because let me tell you, I remember the night I got Skyrim. It was a midnight release. It was my first year in college, and I went with my two roommates, Chris and Joel, and then some guys on the hall who was getting Skyrim, and then I happened to meet other people around campus. I knew one guy from high school actually, and I got the game, and I remember this. I remember this very vividly. By the time, because it was a midnight release, so by the time I actually got it loaded up and it was downloaded and everything like that, it was like 1 o'clock. It was like probably 12:45 or something like that, because I remember looking at the clock, and I started playing it. And playing it. I had class at 8 the next day for my whatever math class I had. And I was almost late to my class because I did not stop playing it all night. And I remember looking at the clock and being like, oh, crap, I'm in the same clothes I was in yesterday. Oh, crap, I got to go. Oh, crap. Okay, maybe 15 more minutes and I should be, if I run, I should be able to make it to class on time. But that's literally how it was. And I remember one time my parents came up. I don't know why they came up. I think they were doing something. I think my auntie went to the casino with my mother, and so they stopped by after just because I happened to be close. And they walked in, and it was like the room was all dark, and it was just me playing Skyrim in front of the TV. And my roommate was like, "Yeah, he's been like this for a couple of weeks." I don't know.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so, hey, but to the kids, I got a 3.9 that semester, so don't come at me. Don't at me. But yeah, so, like, it was the same experience for me where it was, like, locked in. This is what I'm doing. And I should say, like, Skyrim is a game that I've played, like, restarted and played over so many times. Because you can literally, I mean, I platinumed it twice, and Skyrim is not an easy platinum. It's not a quick platinum. You have to... Yeah, so
don't know.
It's yeah.
No, I mean, it was fun. I think I did play one more weekend. I don't think it wasn't just one weekend. I think it was at least 2. But I just remember I stopped because I was like, I can't. And my friend asked for the game, so I was like, take it. Like, he still has it. He's asked if I want it back. I'm like, I'm just gonna not get addicted again. So
I can't. I mean, although it's gonna be a ways away, like quite a ways away, because they're making Bethesda's making quite a few. I think the new Doom, I think is going to come out before. Oh no, that's not right. Not the new Doom. What game is Bethesda working on right now? Well, whatever. They just put out Fallout 4. So even if they started on the new Skyrim the new Elder Scrolls game right after they started on Fallout 4, because Fallout 4 came out last year or a year before.
It was last year.
It was last year. Yeah, well, so there's no way, because there's normally
technically, well, because I count my years and of what year
school
I am in
years,
school.
Yeah.
So
what? Did they announce? Okay, I remember they announced it when me, you, and Brett lived together.
Yes.
Because I remember Brett was going to buy the Pip-Boy version, but it came out 6 months after that, so it was in the school year. So it was 2 years ago then. Because the year me, you, and Brett lived together, the year after that wouldn't have been last year. It would have been the year before that, right?
No, because I lived with you guys after my sophomore year, going into my junior year.
Okay.
So last year was technically my junior year, because this year's my senior year.
So 1 year ago.
Yeah, that's why I said. That's why I said last year. But it might have been normal people timeline. It could have been 2015.
No, I believe you. It was probably so. It was last year. So that even proves the point more that it's going to be a while before this comes out, because Oblivion came out on PS3. At the very beginning, right when PS3 came out, it came out.
Okay.
And Skyrim came out at the very end of PS4 or PS3. So that was 10 years or something like that, right? Because the console generation was really long.
Yeah, it's been a long.
So it was at least almost 10 years in between or something like that. And so I doubt the new game is going to come out anytime soon, unfortunately. So.
Yeah, I think I remember PlayStation 3 coming out in 2006, I want to say.
I believe you. You proved me wrong about what was the Kingdom Hearts date last time, so I'm not going to fight you.
Kingdom Hearts date and the Pokemon movies.
And the Pokemon movies, right? So 2006 it is. And if Sony, you got anything to say, you're wrong. You're wrong. He's already proven it. You're wrong. Do you have anything else for the good order?
No, that's about it.
All right, so Brandon and I were speaking before, and we had an idea for maybe doing some off-site podcasting. Now we know, to those of you who listen to it, only audio, it'll really mean nothing, but we will tie whatever site we're at to some of our topics. So when I mean off-site, maybe we'll do it in... Brandon actually has a cornfield outside of his apartment. Is that a cornfield?
Yeah, it's a cornfield.
It's a cornfield?
Because that's where we do most of our science experiments.
Really?
Yeah, that's where we did the steel wool on fire. Yeah.
You did it in the middle of a dry cornfield.
It was wet. We had a bucket, too.
Okay. Oh, a bucket. That'll put out the whole field. Great. Okay. Anyway, so if they're not playing with fire, we were thinking about maybe something like a cornfield. Maybe we do it from the football field. Maybe we do it from different areas of interest and then tie wherever we're at into the topics. Now, for those of you who watch it on YouTube, that will have maybe more relevance. But it's just an idea we were thinking about. So let us know your thoughts. As always, you can reach us at bcweeklypodcast@gmail.com. If you ever want to hear if you ever have any thoughts about topics you want to hear or anything like that, please let us know. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Chuck.
I'm the other host, Brandon.
We will catch you next time.
Thanks, y'all.